Hello and welcome to Bean's Budget Brewery. I'm your host Bean, and let's get into it. Today's deck is $2 Cat Tribal, because who doesn't like cats? So in this deck we want to play cats, and we want to attack, and we want to kill our opponent with the cats. Honestly, it's not that complicated. The key card is King of the Pride. King of the Pride will buff all of our cats by +2/+1, and that can allow us to win the game by turn 4. But what else do we have in the deck? Well, basically just a bunch of 3/1s. This 3/1, this 3/1, this 3/1, this 3/1, all four of these 3/1s. Got that? Good. So now we're moving on to the 1-drops. Because this is an aggro deck, what we do on turn 1 really matters, and we want to be playing a cat. We happen to have 3 of those: Garrison Cat, Arcbound Mouser, and Charmed Stray. Arcbound Mouser is bad. It's in here because it's cheap. Garrison Cat is also kind of bad. It's here because it's also cheap. Gives us a little bit of resilience, I guess. But Charmed Stray is the real charmer of these 1-drops. You see, Charmed Stray, whenever it enters the battlefield, you put a counter on each other Charmed Stray you control. So if you happen to have drawn a hand with like 3 Charmed Strays, one of them is going to be a 3/3, one of them is going to be a 2/2, and one of them is just going to be a 1/1 still. And then of course our last creature is Pouncing Lynx, because First Strike is nice. And then in our non-creature spells we have Sunlands and You Hear Something on Watch. You Hear Something on Watch can pump the team, ending a game, or surprising someone in combat, or it can kill an attacking creature. It's really versatile. I really like this card. Sunlands is cheap right now, so I've been putting it in all of my decks. It's only 1 mana and can kill pretty much anything. But in case we're going up against a deck that has white in it, I've got a plan. You see, we switch out for Glare of Heresy. Glare of Heresy is a card that asks your opponent, are you playing white? And then if they say yes, you just like, I get to kill anything of yours. Mwahaha. Last up in our spells, we have Fortify and Wings of the Cosmos. Wings of the Cosmos will give our creature a buff, give it flying, and untap it, which means that we can use this as a combat trick to like surprise our opponent if they're attacking, they think they can get in for damage, and we're like, no, boo, our cat has wings now. Or we can use it to get in for extra damage if we need to get a creature through. Last up we have Fortify. We get huge teams with this deck. We're going to have a big board full of creatures. Fortify is basically another King of the Pride, except it only lasts until end of turn. If you remember this piece of text that I showed you earlier, it's basically the entire idea of the deck. First turn you play a cat. Second turn you play a cat with 3 power. Third turn you play a king. Both your previous cats get buffed. You swing for 9, and then on the next turn you're going to swing for 11, so your opponent is at -1 if they haven't had any blockers or interaction. Eventually you're going to win doing that, or you're going to lose. It's a very beginner-friendly strategy. And speaking of that, we've got upgrades. Upgrade time. What's the best upgrade of the deck? It's Savannah Lions. This is a staple in every cat's deck except this one, because it's out of our budget, because 4 of them cost $1. But it is well worth it, because even though it looks like it's just a cat with a +1 on its attack, it's actually a ×2, because 1 times 2 is 2. And as you may have noticed, this is a 1-mana creature, which means we'll play it right away. And so if we play it right away and then attack, and then attack, and then attack, that's only 3 damage right there. But if it had been a Savannah Lions, that would have been a whole 6 damage, and 6 damage is 25%, it's 30% of our opponent's life total. So yeah, Savannah Lions is a great upgrade. However, another great upgrade is Stalking Leonin. Stalking Leonin was not meant for 1v1, because it reads, secretly choose an opponent. Now, if you're playing 1v1 and you secretly choose an opponent, it's not really secret, because, you know, you both know who you're talking about. And if you're not playing 1v1, this is just a cool card. It's a cat with a bow, okay? And a 3/3 that permanently exiles a creature is really good. And then the third $1 upgrade is Kahira, the Kahira Companion. Kahira is great. She's an extra card. She buffs your creatures. There's no reason not to play her if you have one and meet the requirements. Yeah, Companion was not a mistake. Lastly, we have Brave the Elements. Brave the Elements gives your creatures protection until end of turn. Now, Wings of the Cosmos will protect your creature and maybe get you through for damage, but Brave the Elements will protect your creature from anything. Not only that, it'll protect all of your creatures, and protection means can't be blocked by. So if your opponent's playing a monocolored deck, you just made all of your whole team unblockable. God's Willing is another way of doing this. However, it doesn't buff all of your creatures, but it is a little bit cheaper. Okay, it's a fifth the price. It's a fifth the price. Brave the Elements is a really good card, and Stave Off is half the price, and these other cards exist too, and I'm not worrying about them. The main reason I run these cards is because they're effectively a 1-mana counterspell to my enemy's removal, because if my opponent is trying to target my thing with something, I just say no, and it only costs me 1 mana. And specifically in this deck where half the price is in one card because that card is so essential to the deck. I'm talking about King of the Pride. I'm talking about King of the Pride here. King of the Pride is more than half the price of the entire deck. In a deck like this where we revolve around that one card, we really need a way to protect it. And 1 mana to keep it in play, that's really good. And that's the deck.